Good afternoon and welcome to the June 13th meeting of the, joint meeting, I should say, of the Glendale City Council, Glendale Housing Authority, being called to order at 2:05 p.m. May we have roll call for council, please?
Yes. Council members Asatryan.
Here.
Divine.
Here.
Kasakian. Najarian.
Here.
Mayor Brotman.
Here.
And let's have roll call for the Housing Authority, please.
Housing Authority members Ajinian.
Here.
Asatryan.
Here.
Brotman.
Here.
Divine.
Here.
Kasakian. Parazian.
Here.
Chair Najarian.
Here.
And may we have your report, please?
Yes, the agenda for the Tuesday, June 13, 2023 joint public meeting of the City Council and Housing Authority was posted on Thursday, June 8th, 2023 on the bulletin board outside City Hall.
Thank you. And what is our first item?
Our first item is community development regarding fiscal year 2023-2024 Glendale Housing Authority budget with approval of a professional services contract amendments with Emphasis Software, Kane, Ballmer, and Berkman, and Heritage Housing Partners. A council resolution making findings and approving expenditures of low moderate income housing asset funds for administration and planning and expenditures outside redevelopment project areas for the fiscal year 2023-2024 Housing Authority budget. B, Housing Authority resolution making findings and approving expenditures of low moderate income housing asset funds for administration and planning and expenditures outside redevelopment project areas for the fiscal year 2023-2024 Housing Authority budget and adopting the fiscal year 2023-2024 Housing Authority budget. C, Housing Authority motion to approve an amendment to the professional services agreement with Emphasis Software C105966A to increase the contract amount by $250,000 for a new not to exceed contract of $736,425 for a computer software license with maintenance and housing hosting of the Housing Authority owner portal and to extend the agreement term for 1 year to end August 31, 2024. The Housing Authority motion to approve an amendment to the professional services agreement with Kane, Ballmer, and Berkman, C106203, to increase the contract amount by $180,000 for a new not to exceed contract of $740,000 for affordable housing legal services and to extend the agreement term for 2 years to June 30, 2025. E, council motion to approve amendment to the servicing agreement between the Housing Authority of the City of Glendale and Heritage Housing Partners, extending the agreement term for 2 years to June 30, 2025.
Thank you. I know that was a lot. Mr. Galanian.
Yes, it was a lot. Good afternoon, Mr. Brotman, Mayor Brotman, members of City Council, Chair Najarian, members of the Housing Authority. I'm just going to go directly to Peter Zovak, our Assistant Director of Community Development, to present this item for your consideration.
Yes, can we have the PowerPoint up, please? Good afternoon, Mr. Mayor, Mr. Chair, members of the Council and Housing Authority. Community Development staff is requesting that the City Council and Housing Authority approve the fiscal year 23-24 housing budget, that they make certain findings related to the eligible use of redevelopment funds, and amend 3 professional service agreements necessary for housing operations. The City Council previously reviewed the community development budget during its budget study sessions. However, the Housing Authority is also required to approve the housing budget, and both entities are required to make certain findings as to the use of one of those funds, the redevelopment set-aside funds, and amend certain corresponding PSAs. As you can see in the slide, the housing budget before you is made up of 7 different funds, and they include the Section 8 Fund, HUD Home, Continuum of Care, Affordable Housing Trust, BEGIN, the Low Mod Income Housing Asset Funds, which is the former redevelopment funds, and development impact fees. The total budget is approximately $58 million, with the bulk of that, $54 million, coming from the Section 8 program. Because we still have some redevelopment dollars for affordable housing, both the City Council and the Housing Authority must adopt a resolution making certain findings allowing for the use of the expenditures of that fund, the Lomont Income Housing Asset Fund, outside of the 2 redevelopment project areas and allow for administration charges as well. That's something that we've been doing since the very beginning of redevelopment. It's done annually. And even though redevelopment has been discontinued, we are still required to make these findings and adopt them because we still have redevelopment funding available for affordable housing. In support of our affordable housing activities and projects, staff is also seeking approval of 3 PSA amendments that we have with our existing providers. One is with our Section 8 software systems provider, Emphasis Elite. A second is with our outside legal counsel, Kane, Balmer, and Berkman. And the third is with a development partner on the Dorn Gardens Affordable Home Ownership Project. That would be Heritage Housing Partners. And that would be for the purchase and resale of the affordable housing units that are there. And if there are any questions, I can take them. Other than that, we are seeking approval.
Are there any questions from my colleague?
I just have one.
Oh, please.
The Begin Affordable Homeownership Fund and the allocation amount, can you walk us through why you got to that number for that line item?
For the Begin funds, those are
Right.
that is funding that is tied specifically to the Dorn Gardens project. So we anticipate a number of sales in that project every year. And there's a portion of funding of Begin money assigned to each unit in that affordable housing project. So as a sale occurs, our development partner, Heritage Housing Partners, will purchase the property on behalf of the city and then resell it to a new income-eligible first-time home buyer. Those Begin funds need to recirculate back from the old buyer to a new buyer. And so that's the purpose of that allocation of funding for Begin. It is for the purpose of anticipated resales of our affordable units there.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, if there are no other questions, I will entertain a motion for council. That would be 1A and 1C.
I'll move 1A and 1C.
1E.
1A, 1E.
I'm sorry, my mistake. 1A and 1E.
Okay.
And we have a motion from Councilmember Asatryan,
Second.
second from Councilmember Devine. Roll call, please.
Council members Asadrian,
Yes.
Divine,
Yes.
Nasakian, Najarian,
Yes.
Mayor Brotman.
Yes.
And the motions and resolutions for housing at 1B, C, and D.
I will move those items.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Authority members Ajinian,
Yes.
Asadrian,
Yes.
Brotman,
Yes.
Divine,
Yes.
Nasakian, Parazian,
Yes.
Chair Najarian.
Yes.
Okay, and what is next?
Next is Community Services and Parks regarding grant funds from HealthNet LLC and LA Care under the Housing and Homeless Incentive Program. A, council motion approving acceptance of grant funds in the amount of $132,334.20 from HealthNet LLC, the health plan pursuant to Code of Federal Regulations, Title 42, Section 438.6B, and funded by the California Department of Healthcare Services, the HCS Housing and Homelessness Incentive Program. B, council motion approving acceptance of grant funds in the amount of $308,779.80 from the Local Initiative Health Authority for Los Angeles County, operating and doing business as LA Care Health Plan, LA Care, for the Homelessness Incentive Program investment. C, council resolution of appropriation to appropriate grant funds totaling $441,114 from HealthNet LLC and LA Care Health Plan.
Thank you. And these are all council motions and resolutions. Okay, just for our Housing Authority members, you're welcome to stay, but don't feel obligated. Mr. Galanian.
Mayor Brotman, member of City Council, I'm just going to go directly to Arsen Sayan, our homeless programs manager, has a brief presentation on this item.
Good afternoon, Mayor Broadman, members of the City Council, Chair Najarian, members of the Housing Authority. Just wanted to provide a brief overview of the Homeless and Housing Incentive Program. The city of Glendale was awarded a total of $441,000, a little over $441,000. And we will be partnering with LA Care and HealthNet, 2 managed care plans, to bring in much-needed healthcare management, intensive case management, and other types of housing stability support to the participants in our Shelter Plus Care program. The Shelter Plus Care program is a rental assistance program that houses about 45 households here in the city of Glendale who were previously chronically homeless and have long-term disabilities. A total of 59 persons in this program will be receiving intensive case management from Essentia, our nonprofit organization here in Glendale, who serves as our lead agency and provides the case management for our clients. So we're really excited about this opportunity. It is a new one-time funding, and the funds are awarded by the state to the Department of Healthcare Services, and our contracts will be managed directly with LA Care and HealthNet. So that pretty much sums up the HIP funds.
Okay, thank you. And I just want to ask the city clerk, if there are any public comments, please let us know, because I don't always ask, but I assume you'll tell us.
Caller.
There is one caller. Okay, let's hear from the caller first.
The caller is Stuart Lovey. Stuart, you're on air. You have 3 minutes.
Okay, hi, I'm Stuart Lovey. I own several properties in Glendale. One's a 9-unit building across the street from Essentia there on Gardena Avenue. And I also own a condo up in northern Glendale. I think homelessness is a serious thing. Is there any way that the city would look at like guaranteeing, almost like a semi-Section 8, saying I would actually lower my rent and have the city guarantee, because right now I'm having to evict somebody that's not paying rent for I don't know why. So I'd rather have a steady tenant that I know is going to live there with these funds and say, I'll lower my rent to make it easier on the city. And I think if we do that with more small property owners, I think we'd get more bang for our buck. That's my comment. And I believe in fair housing. Everybody needs to be housed. And that's how we'll get rid of homelessness. So I'm on your side. I'm not arguing it. I'm just saying, are there ways that we can work with the city, with small property owners, guarantee, because I'm going to lose $25,000 this year. I'd rather donate it to a homeless shelter than let somebody live in my apartment because he doesn't want to pay rent. That's just my thought.
Thank you, and that's a wonderful suggestion, and I think if we have, do we have his contact information? We can have somebody from housing or someone from our homeless continuum of care can contact him, and because we are always, looking for landlords that want to take Section 8 clients, and the advantage is that it is a, I don't know, can we say a guaranteed payment, or it is?
Subsidized, yes, long-term, as long as the tenant remains in the program, it is guaranteed monthly payments.
A
yes.
guaranteed monthly
A
payment is
certain portion
long.
depending on their income, the
Okay,
client's income.
okay.
It's not just Section 8, right? You have other programs that allow for landlords to sign up. I think that was one of the discussions when we met, and I was getting the overview of the different programs of actually notifying and figuring out how we reach more landlords to let them know that these programs are available and for
Yes.
us to be able to collaborate.
Yes,
So-
Mayor Broadman, Councilmember Asaturian, we do have homeless prevention programs, rapid rehousing programs, and rental assistance programs. So we'll offer all of the different programs, and we also have a landlord incentive program that we can share with the
And
property owner.
And the emergency housing vouchers, is that what we call them?
Yes, and the
EHVs?
program. That is
EHV
correct.
program, which operates like Section 8, but it's specifically for people that are previously unhoused.
Correct. Currently homeless or previously homeless. That is
Okay,
correct.
thank you. Councilmember Najarian?
So I'm not sure that's what he was saying. I think he was saying, instead of using these funds, use it as a subsidy to the renter, but also in return for the landlord reducing the rent, there's a steady stream of income rather than going at fair market and being vacant as it through the normal course. But whatever, let staff sort of figure out the details of that particular proposal.
Yes, Councilmember Devine.
I have a question on the 45 units that you mentioned in the supportive housing. What kind of turnover do you have in those? Do you have any idea?
With the Shelter Plus Care program, we've actually been fortunate to work with smaller property owners. It's interesting that we had one called in today. But for the 45 households, for most of them, they've been in our program for some 10-plus years. It's just that we are experiencing an aging population now in the program. So a lot of our clients are aging out, and we want to be able to keep them housed for as long as possible. So with the managed care plans coming in, they're going to be able to provide that intensive support for our aging population who was previously chronically homeless and disabled. We have about more than 50% of our clients fall within the aging population. So we do have some turnover, but thankfully the recidivism rate has been fairly low because we do have the property managers that work with us very closely to keep our clients housed.
Very good, very good. And I had suggested previously about some sort of an event for landlords and possible landlords to let them know about the programs and what we have to offer to them. And so I just want to kind of bring that back, remind staff. Thank you, thank you.
Thank you. Any other comments? Any other comments?
Good.
Yeah, and I would just second what I know Councilmember Devine mentioned and Councilmember Satrian also mentioned, how do we get out to more landlords like the gentleman that just called who want to work with us? And there's a win-win if we can help get people into housing and it's more kind of stable and guaranteed for the landlords.
I think it might be worthwhile to also reach out to the Glendale Realtors Association because they actually work with landlords and, they definitely have members that are in that category as well. So first to figure out like other avenues for us to get to the landlords.
Councilmember
And
Assadurian, we have actually reached out to the Glendale Realtors Association in the past, and we used to do presentations, but we would love to do that again if it's possible.
And you reach out to the apartment associations?
That is correct, yes.
Yeah, okay, thank you. So we have two council motions and a council resolution. Do I have?
I'll move 1, 2, and 3.
I'll second.
Okay, 2A, B, and C. We have a motion. We have a second. Roll call, please.
Members Asatirian,
Yes.
Divine,
Yes.
Kasakian, Najarian,
Yes.
Mayor Brotman.
Yes. And what is next?
Adjournment.
Before we adjourn, we sometimes forget to ask for staff and council or housing authority comments. I actually have a comment today, but I want to check first if anybody else has a comment. No? This was something I was originally going to mention tonight, but I think it's more appropriate to mention it now, that this has to do with the Burbank Glendale Pasadena Regional Housing Trust. Just so all my colleagues know and anybody that's watching, we had the second meeting of what we're calling the BHP-RHT, the Burbank Glendale Pasadena Regional Housing Trust. We had that meeting last week. We adopted bylaws. The more important thing was that we selected a consultant called Civic Home, who will be helping us develop our operating agreement, recruiting staff. We may, want to recruit a dedicated executive director. They will help us obtain legal services and provide interim administration for the JPA, probably for about a 6-month period, although the whole project is envisioned to run for about a year. They were selected through an RFP program. And about Civic Home, and I'm really excited when I heard them present. I thought they were really, they're going to be perfect. They helped set up and manage, and they helped set up, starting in 2019, the Orange County Housing Trust, and they've been helping manage that since 2019. And through that, they've helped them raise about $40 million in county and state grants. And they have brought 26 cities into this JPA along with the county and have done 16 affordable housing projects. So that's really great experience. In addition, they've been hired by the Gateway Cities COG to explore setting up a housing trust for the gateway cities. That started last year, and they have been developing they have developed the JPA agreement, bylaws, and a strategic plan. So nobody has that kind of experience that we know of, and so I'm really excited. It makes us all feel like we're in good hands. Yeah, that's it. I just wanted to update everybody that that's moving forward. And if there are no other comments, then I'll take a motion to adjourn.
Move to adjourn for council?
Second.
Okay, council is adjourned.
We need to adjourn the Housing
We need
Authority.
to adjourn.
Will someone move for,
I'll move to adjourn for housing.
Second.
and housing is adjourned?
Okay.